Howdy, hot shots. It's the Dividend Daddy, your favorite not a financial advisor, coming to you from not a financial advisor land. I got an article served up to me from Yahoo Finance last night. I go and search it up. It's everywhere. It started out on Reuters and now it's just everywhere. And it says record inflows. U.S. covered call funds attract record inflows as investors seek yield. So I know we've been talking about ULTY, we've been talking about YMAG, we've been talking about YMAX, we've been talking about GDXY, JEPI, JEPQ. All of these funds in total, people are chasing that yield. That's good for us that hold those funds already, right? Because these articles that come out, it's going to attract new investors. It's going to push those share prices up and protect our NAV while we're still getting our gigantic yields. All right, so it says that in the first 6 months of this year, $31.5 billion have found their way into these funds. And we know ULTY has reached $2 billion. It's over $2 billion in assets now. So these funds are absolutely on fire, and you are early to the game in a lot of these funds. Now, obviously, last year, we would have gotten very nice gains on Misty, but we're lucky that we didn't start out in ULTY at the very early days because it took them a while to find their footing, okay? But now we're finding that we're getting the big yields and a relatively stable NAV in ULTY. And I've got JEPI, I've got JEPQ, I've got RDTE, I've got a bunch of these covered call funds that I've had for a while. I have just recently moved into ULTY and I am putting a good chunk in there. I'm over 1,500 shares at this point. But I want to talk to you about one of the reasons why these covered call funds are seeing such tremendous growth. And it's not all new investors, all right? There's people that have already invested and I'm testing the waters. They're happy with their performance and so they're putting more money in. But a more passive reason why these funds are growing so quickly is the insane distributions that we get off of them, all right? Because people that are reinvesting their dividends, like me, I love dripping them divvies. All right, I'm just trying to grow my income, so I drip them divvies because I don't need the money right now. Maybe you don't need the money right now, right? But what am I gonna do with those dividends? I'm just gonna take them and sit on them in cash? No way, brother. I'm going to put them back into that fund and increase my weekly and monthly payouts to the point where I'm living ham hog, all right? When me and my great Aunt Gail, gag, we can just be swimming in Pall Malls and cheap vodka. So I drip them divvies, and that right there is one of the reasons why these funds are growing so quickly. Not only are there new investors finding out about them, not only are people like you and me happy with the performance, and so we're putting more and more money into them every week and every month. Every red day, I'm buying more of multiple funds, okay? Mostly ULTY. Every day, I'm putting a little bit more money in for the most part in one of these funds. Not only are we doing that, but we're getting those dividends and we're reinvesting them, and that is growing the fund naturally. And so if you've got a fund that has $1 billion in the fund and it's got an 80% distribution rate, okay, similar to ULTY, by the end of the year, if the people aren't taking their dividends out, you could have $1.8 billion in that fund, okay? So it's not unheard of for these to be growing at a record pace because they've got distributions that are coming out at a record pace. So we're putting more money in. New investors are hearing about them and they're coming in putting more money in. And our dividends are making these funds grow faster too. So there's multiple reasons why this is happening. They go through some of the yields on here. They're going through, it seems to me like this article is mostly talking about more conservative covered call funds like JEPI, JEPQ, KYLD, which is going to pay, it says 11.5% to 13.9%, which is still an amazing yield if you're trying to live off of the income in a little bit more conservative fund that's tracking indexes. Personally, I like the freedom that ULTY has to go out there Somebody just made a comment on the channel saying that yesterday ULTY added Meta and Qualcomm with 30% IVs, and so that will stabilize the fund a little bit. I like that ULTY is taking more of a focus on protecting the NAV in this fund, because I don't mind. I'm not living off the income, and so I don't mind if the distribution rates vary a little bit if they can protect that NAV. That's even better. That's even better than having an 80 or 100% distribution and then letting the NAV fall by 10% every month. That's not going to be beneficial to us. But if they can keep that NAV stable, if they could just keep us in that 620 to 650 range, okay, maybe even $6 to 650, as long as it goes up and down so you can see that it's not just crashing hard, give you a little bit of peace of mind. But they can keep those distributions, 40, 50, 60, 80%. If they can keep that, it's the best passive investment I have seen in my life. I've never heard of anything that is going to give you that kind of return. Now, will it? I don't know, but it's the best shot that you have out there, in my opinion, right now. But if you're going to make the bet, you got to do the vet, all right? You have to check it out for yourself. Do your own due diligence. Don't follow me and lose all your money with me, okay? Don't just do what I'm doing. You have to decide for yourself whether it's good for you or not. But for me, I feel like the chance is worth taking, okay? I don't need the money that I'm putting in it to live on right now, but if it could create a situation in the future where my income outpaces my job, outpaces my retirement, then my retirement is going to be glorious, okay? And so to me, if there's a better chance that these pay off than the lottery. But with the amount of money that we can each afford to put in it, it could actually pay us more than a lot of lotteries. So in my opinion, it's just my opinion, it's got a better chance of paying off than the lottery and will pay off more money than most lotteries that you could win would pay off. So, it's worth it to me to try. All right, guys, I'll catch you next time.